Political analyst Professor Prof Friedman says South Africa is a democratic society. Now, this comes after the EFF made a call that the AN7 should not cover their events. Professor Friedman says the other ways the EFF can use to resolve this issue, of course, are different and alternative as well as available. And he was speaking earlier on SABC News.
The principle is that public organizations and political parties or public organizations don't get to decide who covers them in a democratic society. Just as the ANC in January seemed to feel that it could decide which journalists covered its January the 8th statement, the EFF now seems to feel it can decide who covers its events. And I think we need to be concerned about that. If you don't like the Guptas or you don't like the organizations they run, there are things you can do as a democratic system to express that and to rally against it. But to say you can't cover the events, I think is a slippery slope, because next week it's going to be this one can't cover the events for some reason, and that one, and this week it's going to be the EFF, and next week it's going to be the ANC, and the week after it's going to be the DA. The people who lose out in this situation are the people of South Africa, because the people of South Africa are entitled to know what public organizations are doing.
We're very consistent about that message. AN7 and the New Age, in our view, do not constitute part of free media. They are not media, they are money-making, corrupt communications departments of the Gupta family. We separate between them and those who work for them, in this case, journalists. They don't speak for journalists. Journalists have their own associations, they've got their own unions, they are like workers. So for as long as journalists who work for those institutions come in the name of TNA and AN7, they're not welcome in all EFF events. And that is in no way a war against journalists in their own right as journalists. If they move to ENCA or they come to SABC, they're fine. We are protesting AN7 and TNA because in our view, those institutions are like what the Citizen, for an example, was, or Nespas was, under apartheid. We've taken a moral and an ethical and a political position against their activities. We're antagonizing them. We're calling on the Guptas to completely disengage from all of South Africa's different sectors.